I'm Keith Peters with the Palo Alto Weekly. With me is Elizabeth Yao, a senior on the Menlo School tennis team. Last week in the CIF NorCal Championship, she played 2 matches at number 1 singles. She won both matches. The second match, she clinched a 5-2 victory over St. Francis. She was the clinching match. That gave Menlo its first NorCal Championship since 2001, and for that performance, she is the Palo Alto Weekly Girls Athlete of the Week. Kind of an interesting way to end the season. Winning NorCal, you hadn't won in quite some time. The matches were delayed. You started off, you got to play the first round match, and then the semifinals were rained out, delayed 2 weeks, and then when you went back to play again at a different site, got rained out again. How difficult was it to get yourself ready to finally play that match after being rained out twice?
To be honest, it wasn't actually that hard. Every morning when the match could have been scheduled for, I'd wake up and I would think to myself, today we're going to play the match, be ready, have a good breakfast, get out there and warm up and do the best that you can. Mainly, I think it was an issue of making sure all the other girls practiced, because out of season I usually practice, but the other girls, not all of them play all the time. So I wanted to make sure the team spirit was still alive, and we still have had the unbelievable bond we had during CCS and up to NorCal's.
It's a little tough when you really had a 2-week break. I mean, you were playing right after you guys won CCS. You were playing in the CCS individual tournament, and so you were busy, and one of your doubles teams, they were busy as well. But everybody else was pretty much on break for a little bit, and so you had maybe a job as being a senior to keep the girls excited about playing NorCal's.
Yeah, everyone was excited about NorCal's, but it was kind of the expectation that the season would have been over already, and it wasn't that the girls don't love the team. They still love the team even though the season's over now, but it was just expecting to be able to get home at 3, start your homework, and just, it wasn't planned, I guess. So that was more of the issue of keeping the girls energetic and excited about it.
You'd beaten St. Francis in the CCS team championship match. You were the clinching match in that one, and then you get St. Francis again in the NorCal finals. You were the clinching match there. Was it easier to play them again after beating them in the CCS final?
Personally, and I think I speak for the whole team, we like to think of every match as different and unique, because there's obviously different circumstances and things like that. Although it did help that I think one of the St. Francis girls was we're coming for you at NorCal's, and we just wanted to show that there was no dispute over how we won CCS, even if their lineup was a little bit different than it usually is, and we wanted to show them that.
Was winning CCS and NorCal surprising at all to you guys this year, or did you guys begin the season having those goals in mind, and then you achieved them, and so it wasn't all that surprising?
I think at the beginning of the year we all knew that CCS would be very close. Every team would have its shot, because we lost a lot of players from our lineup, and we knew that other teams like Monte Vista, who have been powerhouses in CCS for a really long time, had lost a lot of their players. So we knew that we'd be getting a mixed bag, and what we did with it would be it would be more what we did with what we had than what other people had. And I think in the beginning of the season, we didn't think so much, we're going to win CCS, we're going to win NorCal's. We thought we want to improve as much as we can, and hopefully that will mean we are good enough to win CCS and NorCal's. Although it was a bit surprising beating Saratoga, I think, because we were down 1-3, and all the matches were really close. The matches still on were our first doubles team, which had come back in the first set to win in a tiebreak, and in the second set I believe they were down 5-6 or something. So that was a nail biter. And my sister had lost at two singles, had lost the first set and come back, won the second set, and then ended up winning the third set while I was playing my third set, in which I was down 1-3 as well. But I just felt like I definitely could pull the match out, and I just relaxed and I went.
That was the semifinals against Saratoga, which really was probably the key match of the season that really propelled you into the championship match, and you end up beating St. Francis twice. So you win CCS, you win NorCals. You weren't able to defend your CCS individual title, but all in all, this had to be a very highly successful season for you, and you had to feel that you went out on a very high note.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely a great season for me. I've always valued team achievements more than my own because of the way it's like you play well, your team plays well, but more like the relationships you develop and the trust and understanding you have for your teammates and things like that.
Congratulations on a highly successful season, and good luck in college next year.
Thank you.